So what you're saying is, 1, there's a corruption scandal involving all kinds of athletes. 2, our puppet master is a surgeon named Mitchell, a man who happened to fight in the war with Dunn, right?
Maybe, but it could be no more than a false lead.
Anyway, where was I? Number 3, right? 3, since Dunn was on his trail, Mitchell, or whomever, hired an anteater to get rid of him. Then, since you were also shaking the wasp's nest, he went after you. But the anteater made a mistake, and Mitchell, or whomever, killed him to cover his own tracks. And, wait, 4, the key to all this lies with a common friend of Dunn's and Mitchell's, Craig Spannow. Do you really trust him?
I think he didn't lie to us. Although he might not know the whole truth.
4. 5. Dunn was murdered 4 days after taking Spannow to his house. If that doesn't make him suspect, makes sense, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't add up.
Why not?
Just a hunch.
Let's follow up with the suspects. You told Smirnoff that even though you're sure Yale is innocent, you think he's hiding something. But what about O'Leary? 6.
O'Leary wouldn't have sent Randall to kill Dunn. He would have dragged him to his basement, given him his little speech, and then killed him himself. Nah, I know O'Leary, and he wouldn't have sent a hitman. He would have taken matters into his own hands.
What about Cassidy? 7, right?
I think it's safe to rule out Cassidy as Dunn's murderer. He seems too impulsive to have planned such a twisted crime. Whoever planned the whole thing knew the suicide theory would fall through, so he manipulated the clues to incriminate Yale. Cassidy is too impulsive to pull off such an intricate plan.
So, even if you have your doubts, Mitchell is the one pulling the strings. And you know why? Because in novels, the murderer is always someone the detective knows from the beginning.
Well, that could be the case in British novels. You know, where everyone in the mansion where the murder took place is a suspect. But this might just be an American whodunit, where the detective doesn't even meet the culprit until the last scene.
You mean we still don't know who's pulling the strings?
I didn't say that. How did it go with Helen Moore?
I didn't get anything, even though it started out really well. I asked to interview her along with her boyfriend, Al Stone. Since I'm a big shot, they were happy to oblige. Perfect. Now, time for the interview. I'll go back and forth so you don't get bored. So, who goes first? Here's a question for Al. Your manager is Frank Cassidy, president of the Boxing Managers Association of New York. According to him, only boxers working with member managers should be allowed to compete. What do you think about that?
We never talk politics, honey. Athletes should steer clear of controversy and stay focused on their sport. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, now. Time for a picture.
How should we pose?
Okay, how about a hug? I want to feel the love. You're the envy of all America. Moving on. Here's one for both of you. What do you think about sports on television? Is it good for business, or will it make it all more for the masses?
More for the masses, for sure, but also more fair. Ever since television came along, there's no place for corrupt athletes or rigged games. In the old days, athletes succumbed to corruption scandals because they didn't make enough money. Because no matter how large a stadium is, space is limited. But thanks to TV and advertising, my generation has put an end to corruption.
Now that's a headline. Now what? Mind if I take another one?
You want us to do something in particular?
Show me your profiles. Back to back. Wonderful. You two should be models. Okay, one more question, and...
Al, honey, can you answer it? I've gotta go say hi to a fan. I'll be right back, Mr. Pulitzer.
Wait. You mean she stopped smiling when that fan showed up?
Yeah.
Could you describe him for me?
I'll be able to show you something as soon as I'm done developing these pictures. And actually, I thought it was odd too. So while I continued to interview Stone, I managed to take some pictures of Moore and whoever her mysterious fan was. All right, so where were we? In just 12 days, the contender will try to steal your belt. Any thoughts on your fight against Yale?
Well, supposedly the odds are in my favor, but there's no such thing as a weak rival. And, you know, Bobby Yale might be young and going through a rough patch, but he's had an amazing streak, so I'll do my best.
Are you ever jealous about sharing your sweetheart with America?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm jealous, but I know that someone so popular and honest can draw the wrong kind of attention. There are plenty of people who would love to put an end to her career, so it's not easy.
Your manager is Frank Cassidy, president of the Boxing Managers Association of New York. According to him, only boxers working with member managers should be allowed to compete. What do you think about that?
Cassidy is a great manager, really. No complaints there. And the work he's putting in as president of the association is really valuable. But, I don't know, maybe in this case, Joe Dunn was right. Wait, no. Could you keep that last comment off the record? You know, on the down low.
My lips are sealed. Let's get that picture taken. Let's see what you think about this. Close your eyes and rest your chin on your fist. The boxing thinker.
Like these?
Exactly. Wait, I accidentally moved. Stand still. I'll take another one. What's with me today? Don't move, please. Now we got it. Should we keep at it? I'm going to take one more, all right? Okay, now raise your head and your arms up like you were celebrating a victory.
Like these?
Exactly. What's up with me? Stand still. I'll take it again. I can't seem to get it right. Don't move. It's about time. Finally, we're all set.
Wait. So, are you telling me the photos are developed? Or is that what you said to Stone?
Both. Just look.
That's a decent picture, but it doesn't tell the truth.
Huh? Of course it's the truth. I was there.
Stone isn't as strong as he looks, and Moore certainly doesn't need him to lift her up. Look at his hand. Is he pulling something out of Moore's purse, or putting it in?
You know, I thought he'd be cocky, but he didn't seem too convinced about beating Yale.
It makes sense. O'Leary's rigged the fight. Stone has to lose. Who's that guy?
I know he's not a fan. You should have seen her face when she saw him. I nailed it, didn't I? The perfect couple, leaning on each other. Just like you and me, pal.
Steady there, cowboy.
Can't you just see the love?
I'm not so sure, to be honest. Love is not subservience. The boxing thinker, the boxing poet. Boxing just might turn out to be the intellectual sport of choice. I think she only smokes when she's nervous. What was making her nervous? I've seen that matchbox before. Wait, that's him.
Who?
Mitchell, the surgeon.
Seriously? We got him.
Not yet.
Right. We still have to find him. Hey, pal. Did you hear what I just said? We need to keep looking at all those pictures. We need a clue that'll take us to Mitchell. Hey, see? There. Just like I was saying.
Brawls aren't even the worst part of my job. Sure, you may take a beating, but at least you get the chance to defend yourself. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff. Your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. People were finally leaving the place. The bar was about to close. And I hadn't seen Mitchell go in or out. I had no choice.
I see you took me up on my invitation. And you're smart. You knew not to come until my anti-fur regulars had all cleared out.
I can't say no to good advice.
Or good bourbon. Here's looking at you, Mr. What was your name?
As far as I knew, La Iguana always stayed neutral. He played poker with Cassidy, but his joint was used as the gambling drop-off for O'Leary's operation. Did it make sense to keep faking it? Or was it too dangerous not to? Blackmore. John H. Blackmore.
I knew it. Although your Texan isn't half bad.
Let's just say I represent certain sports lobbies I'd rather not talk about.
I understand. My pleasure, Mr. Blackmore. You're natural. You're even better at pool than poker.
This is much easier. No one can cheat.
You barely flinched when Cassidy decided to teach that ego a lesson.
What do you want me to say? I was too shocked to be surprised, to be honest. The people I work for generally try to avoid these situations. Damn it.
Well, nobody's perfect. Tell me, what do you really want with Cassidy? I just don't understand your motives.
The truth is, I represent certain interests which make Desmond O'Leary my enemy. If you know anything about their rivalry, I rest my case.
Don't worry about it. I was only curious. So, what about me? What do you want from me? No one comes to La Iguana just to drink and play pool.
I'm looking for one of your regulars, Dr. Angus Mitchell.
What for?
I don't want to be rude, but it's really none of your business.
I don't have time to explain how things work here at La Iguana, but I'll be blunt. Not this way.
You don't understand. I have to talk to him, or else.
Or else what?
I don't think Cassidy would be too happy about the role his poker buddy plays in O'Leary's gambling operation. I'm sure you understand that.
Son of a bitch. All right. Give me your phone number, and I'll give you a call when Mitchell shows up.
No. You're gonna call him right now, and you're gonna give him this message. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff, your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. It's so bad that your thoughts spiral in a never-ending loop. Like when you're stuck in your car, on surveillance duty. The owner of La Iguana was supposed to tell Mitchell that a certain anteater was still alive, and that it was only a matter of time before he ratted him out. With a bit of luck, that would make him nervous enough to force his hand. Now all I had to do was follow him.